Okay, so now we're going to go over Chapter 8 test review. It's version B. At the top it just says Chapter 8 test 1213, but it's version B because that's your practice. Okay, so the first question is simplifying the difference. Okay, what I want you to do with test reviews is I want you to just go through quickly, look at the answers, fast forward it, check all your work because you should have already done it, and then the ones that you missed or the ones that you weren't quite sure how to do it, you maybe just guessed on it, watch those because I know this takes a little while to do. So I don't want you to spend too much time watching it if you don't need it. If you don't need the help, then you're fine. If you do need the help, it's here for you. Okay, so the first one, it's a subtraction, so we're going to change that to addition, change that to -6, change this to a -3, change this to a +7. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll use my buckets. Okay, you may not need to. You may be able to do it without the buckets, and if you do, that's great. I might do the buckets on this one and then not the buckets on the next one. Okay, so the first term, this first parenthesis stayed the same, so we had, and I'm going to put circles around the ones I'm not going to use. I don't want to get mixed up. I'm not going to use those. Those are just my labels. So we have 3w to the second, and we have a -7w, and we have a -8. In this one we have a -6w to the second, a -3w, and a +7. Okay, so now I'm going to add my buckets together. I have a -3w to the second. Add those together, I get a -10w and a -1. So this is my answer. Those are w's. Oh, sorry. This is a w. Okay, so then I look -3w to the second, -10w, -1. It's letter D. Okay, the next one, it's a plus. I don't need to change anything in here. I keep everything the same. So without buckets, I'm looking at these two first, u to the thirds. I got 7 plus 3 is 10 u to the third. Then I'm looking at the u's to the second. I have 5u to the second, and that's all I have. Positive 5u to the second. And then I just have 1 -3u. And then I have right here a 3 and a 7, which is a 10. So then I look for 10u to the third plus 5u to the second minus 3u plus 10. So it's letter C. Okay, the next one, number 3. First of all, you need to multiply. It's distributive property. I'm going to multiply 2n and n squared. So I have 3, not 3, we're multiplying 2n to the third. Then you're going to multiply this. So 2 times 3 is 6. And I have n to the second, because n and n is n to the second. And then I have 2 times 4 is 8, 8n. And they're all different terms, and that's my answer. And then I'm looking for that. We have 2n to the third, 6n to the second, 8n, and it's letter A. Same thing with the next one. We're going to multiply. We have 24. There's a p to the second, plus 1 more is p to the third. Multiply. It's going to be positive 48. And we have 1p, and 1p is p to the second. And then we go and we multiply it one more time with the -2, which is -16p. So we have -24p to the second plus 48, or p to the third, plus 24p to the second minus 16p. So it's letter D. Okay. Next. Okay, and so this one says either simplify the product using the box method or the FOIL method. I'm going to use the box method for one, and the FOIL method for the other one. And it doesn't matter which one you choose, we're going to get the same answer. So I'm going to set up the box method for the first one. So we have 3x minus 7 on one side and 3x minus 5 on the other side. Okay, then you're going to multiply 3 times 3 is 9, x times x, x squared. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, x. 3 times negative 21, or 7, is negative 21, x. And then negative and negative is positive 35. Okay, so now I just have one of these. So I have 9x to the second here. That's gone. I'm going to add these together because they're both negative. So I have negative 36x, and then I have, so I use those, and I have a positive 35. And that's my answer. So 9x squared minus 36x plus 35. So number 5 is D. Okay, the next one, let's go ahead and just do this one, the FOIL method. I'm going to multiply this times that, and I get 15x squared. Then I'm going to multiply this with the 7, so I have positive 21x. Then I'm going to multiply 2 and 5 is positive 10x, and then I'm going to multiply 2 and the 7, which is 14. The x's go together. I have a positive 31x, I have a positive 14, and I have a 15x to the second. So 15x a second plus 31x plus 14, and I found it as letter D. Okay, so number 6. Now number 7, we're going to find the square. So if you remember, this is a special case. I'm going to square the first term, so 2 times 2 is 4x squared. I'm going to square the last term, 6 times 6, 36. It's always plus. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So it's 24x, and the sign is negative. So I have negative 4x squared minus 24x plus 36. It's letter A. Okay, if you did not remember how to do that, you could always, so looking at the next one, write it twice, and then do your FOIL method or the X in the box, or just the box. Okay, but I know the special case, so I'm going to go ahead and do it the quick way. 6 times 6, 36, m squared. 4 times 4, 16. Then I'm going to multiply 4 times 6 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. So I've got 48m. And then my sign is positive, so it's plus. So I'm looking for 36m squared plus 48m plus 16. So it's letter B. Okay, next one. Okay, so number 9. It looks to me like this could be a difference of squares. This looks like it's a plus b, a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. There's my a, there's my b, a and b. So if I remember the quick way of doing this, all I have to do is say, okay, I'm going to square the first term, which is f squared, square the last term, which is 49, 7 times 7 is 49, put my negative between it, and I'm all done. So it's letter D. again, if you did not remember how to do this, the special case, you could always do your box or your FOIL method, and you get the exact same answer I am getting, but a little bit slower. So I'm going to square the first term, which is 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to square the m squared, so it's m to the 4th power. Square the last term, 8 times 8 is 64, and it's minus. So I'm looking for 4m to the 4th power minus 64, so it's letter A. Okay, one last one. Look again like it looks like a difference of squares. So I'm going to square the first term, 2 times 2 is 4, and squared, 2 times 2 is 4, and it's minus. And I've got my A again. Okay, next one. Okay, now I'm getting into factoring. Number 12, I look and see if there's anything that I can take out they have in common. No. Okay, so then I look to see, is it a perfect square trinomial? No, because I don't know what, there's no perfect squares here or there, or there's one there, but there's not one there. Okay, so then I do my x. So the first times the last is 77. Add up to be 18. How about 7 and 11? Okay, do I need to do my box? And the answer is no, because there's a 1 there and there's only one variable. So my answer is w plus 7 and w plus 11. And I look for my answer, w plus 7, w plus 11, and it looks like it's letter C. Okay, the next one. Okay, I look to see, can I take anything out of 13? And I can't. Then I look, is it a perfect square trinomial? And it's not. That 24 is not a perfect square. It has 2 variables, so that means I have to do the x and the box. So I'm going to do my x. 24 add together to give me a negative 10. I know they're both going to be negative because when I multiply I need a positive. So how about a 6 and a 4? Put my variables in there, x and a y. Make my box. So now I have x squared, and then my last term is 24y squared, negative 4xy, the 2 that I created, negative 6xy. Okay, now I'm going to factor. What do these have in common? They have a y, they also have a 4. What do these have in common? They have a x. Okay, what does this have in common? They have an x. What does this have in common? They both have a y, and they both have a 6. The sign comes from this box, the sign comes from this box. So I'm looking for x minus 4y and x minus 6y. So x minus 4y and x minus 6y. It looks like it's D, and it doesn't matter which one goes first as long as they're the same. Okay, and so that was 13. 14, is there anything that I can take out? No. Do I need to use the box? No, I can just use x because it doesn't have 2 variables, it's just 1, and there's a 1 right here. So I have negative 42 and a negative 1. So 1's negative, 1's positive, and it's going to be 7 and 6. I need to make sure I choose the right one to be negative, so it's positive 7, or negative 7, positive 6. And so then I have x minus 7 and x plus 6. So x plus 7, x, and that's going to be number 14 is going to be x minus 7, x plus 6. It's going to be this one. I almost chose the wrong one. I almost looked at C, but I need the positive 6 and a negative 7. That's that one. Okay, the next one. Okay, this is factoring with the difference of squares. So you need to remember you need to take the square root of the first term, which is 4x. Take the square root of the last term, which is 9y, and write two problems, one positive and one negative. And I am all done. I'm looking for 2x plus 9y, 2x minus 9y. And the reason this one doesn't work, there's no y. You need the y. So 19 is B. Oh, okay, I'm kind of going across. I guess I'm getting out of order a little bit. Okay, then 15. 15 we have, do we have anything that we can take out of here? And I don't. There's a 3 here. No. Okay, so now I need to do my x. And then I'm going to have to do my box. So 15 times 4 is 60. Add together to give me negative 16. One's negative, or they're both negative, because negative negative makes a positive. So how about 10 and 6? Put your variables in here, your x and your y. Your x and your y. Okay, do our box over here to the side. Okay, the first term goes in this box. It's 15x squared. The box last term goes over here, 4y squared, negative 6xy, negative 10xy. Okay, now I'm going to change colors real quick. Okay, what do these have in common? They both have a y, and they both have a 2. What does this have in common? They both have a 5, and they both have an x. What does this way have in common? They both have an x, and they both have a 3. And then what about this one? They both have a y, and they both have a 2. Our signs are negative, and our sign is negative. So we're looking for 5x minus 2y, 5x minus 2y, so it could be that one or that one, so not these two. And then we're looking for 3x minus 2y, 3x minus 2y. So on 15, it's letter B. Okay, let's go ahead and work on over to do 20. Okay, this is a 4-term polynomial. Is there anything that I can take out? No. So therefore I have to use my box for that. Okay, remember we just learned this. You got 3x to the third, 3x to the second, your x and your 1, and they have to go first, second, third, fourth terms. These are plus, plus, plus. Okay, and we're going to factor. What do these have in common? Nothing, just a 1. What do these have in common? Just a x. What does this have in common? A 3, and there's x squared. What does this have in common? Just a 1. And this is plus, and this is plus. So I'm looking for x plus 1, 3x squared plus 1, and D for number 20. Okay, 16. Is there anything I can factor out? No. Now, 49, that's a perfect square. And D squared, that's a perfect square. So I think I found myself a perfect square trinomial. If I take the square root of the first term, I get D. Take the square root of the last term, I get 7. 7 times 1 is 7D, times 2 is 14. Perfect square trinomial. Put plus in here, put my parentheses, square it. And so I've got letter C. I found it without too much work. Okay, let's go down to 17. Then we'll come back up to the bonus. Okay, next one. Is there anything I could take out of here? And 2, they're even. I don't think so. So this one, take the square root of the first term. I think it's a perfect square trinomial. 7b. Take the square root of the last term, which is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 times 2, I'm hoping I'm going to get 112, so I don't have to do a lot of work. 112. Perfect square trinomial. Keep my plus, put my parentheses, square it. And now I'm looking for 7b plus 8 squared. There it is, letter B. Number 18. It looks like it's a difference of squares. Take the square root of the first term, which is r. Take the square root of the last term, which is 7. Write two problems, one plus and one minus. And I've got my difference of squares. And negative and positive doesn't matter order. So I've got my 18 as A. Okay, and the last one, our bonus. I look and see, does it have anything that I can take out? And I think I can take a 3 out. I can also take an x out. 3 times 2 is 6, x to the third. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, x to the second. 3 times negative 12, x, and then 3 times sorry, I had to cough. Okay, so this is going to be 18. 3 times 18 is 54. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take our box, and it's a 4-term polynomial. So you're going to put everything in the box where they belong. So I have 2x to the third minus 2x to the second. Oh, that's a 3. 3x to the second, negative 12x, and positive 18. And so then you're going to then factor. Okay, these have a 3 in common. These have an x in common, and also a 2. Okay, let's go this way now. They have an x squared in common, and then this one has, I believe it's a 6. So now we're going to make our signs negative. This sign's negative, and we're looking for 3x, 2x minus 3, and x squared minus 6. So that's my answer. That's what I'm looking for. So I know it's not these two. So we have x squared minus 6 and 2x minus 3. And it looks like it's letter A for your answer. Okay, so that's the review for Chapter 8 test. Hopefully you will go through and study and make sure that you understand it so you can get a good grade. Remember, this is the first grade for test grade for the 3rd trimester. I'm just going to go back and make sure I did all the problems and I got all the answers in there. And like I said, you didn't have to watch each and every one. You could have just watched the ones that you're having trouble with or wanted to see more clarification on. Okay, good luck.